You walk into the biggest motorcycle event in the world you know, and the first thing you feel isn't sight, it's sound. A thunder of engines rolls through Milan, echoing off the glass and steel, blending with cheers and camera flashes. This is EICMA 2025, the beating heart of motorcycling, where legends return, newcomers rise, and the future hums beneath the lights. Each November, this stage decides who leads the next chapter of riding. Electric revolutions, reinvented classics. Designs daring enough to bend tradition tonight, we strip away the noise and chase what truly mattered. Triumph takes the stage first. The ultimate EICMA 2025 recap begins. Let's ride into the story. Triumph stepped into Milan with the calm assurance of a brand that knows who it is. No strobe lights, no circus, just that unmistakable hum of British craftsmanship meeting modern purpose under the glow of EICMA. 2025, the Bonneville family stood like a familiar song played with new strings, nostalgic yet unmistakably renewed. Each line of the Bonneville spoke of restraint and refinement. Brushed aluminum, hand-finished tank badges, and twin pipes that breathe a low, velvety growl only Triumph seems able to capture. Yet the real story lay beneath the style. Subtle changes in frame geometry brought improved agility through sweeping bends. The updated suspension soaked up uneven pavement without stealing feedback from the rider's hands. Add in multiple ride modes and upgraded traction control, and the old soul finally found its modern rhythm. It was less about chasing peak horsepower, more about the harmony between bike and rider, balance, poise, and feel. And just when it felt like Triumph was content to stay in its comfort zone, the Speed Triple 1200RR edition broke cover carbon accents, semi-active Öhlins suspension, and razor-sharp throttle tuning, proof that heritage can move fast without losing grace. In a sea of flashing screens and electric prototypes, Triumph's display whispered, rather than shouted, that quiet confidence reminded everyone that true progress isn't always radical. Sometimes it's refinement perfected. But Triumph's story this year wasn't all victory behind every win. There's a what if. And for a brand built on bold moves, one choice this year felt unusually cautious. What happens when a company known for daring decides to play it safe? It wasn't a failure, more a flicker of hesitation that left riders scratching their heads. Even legends, it seems, can misstep. When the cheers for the Bonneville finally softened, curiosity filled the air. What would Triumph unveil next? Many expected a spark, maybe a mid-size electric concept, or a bold rework of the Tiger lineup to face the growing hybrid wave. But instead of a revolution, Triumph offered refinement. Thoughtful, yes, but safe. The updates across the sport and adventure ranges brought smoother electronics and better comfort, yet little to truly surprise the Speed Triple. 1200RR edition shimmered with polish, but stopped short of provocation. The Tigers stayed steadfast and familiar, dependable but unchanged at their core for loyal riders. That consistency inspires trust. Triumphs are bikes you can ride across states, day after day, and know exactly what they'll deliver. But in a world charging toward electrification and reinvention, even reliability can start to look like hesitation. And if that moment brought back the time Triumph stole your heart, or any ride that still lives rent-free in your soul, go ahead and hit that like, hype, and subscribe. It's the fuel that keeps us chasing stories like this. The passion, the innovation, and the sheer joy of life on two wheels. Triumph's strength has always been courage wrapped in craftsmanship. Now the challenge lies in transforming that cautious precision into bold momentum, because refinement may keep a legend alive, but reinvention keeps it relevant. And while Triumph paused, another brand wasted no time stepping into the spotlight, ready to prove that evolution waits for no one. And that is where Honda stepped in. Where Triumph hesitated, Honda accelerated. While some brands played it safe, Honda went full throttle, blending innovation with reliability in a way only they can. It wasn't about chasing trends, it was about setting direction. So let's look at how Honda made the old feel new and the new feel possible At EICMA 2025, Honda didn't arrive to impress with noise or theatrics, it arrived to prove a point. While other brands chased attention under spotlights, Honda's presence at EICMA 2025 felt calm, deliberate, and grounded in purpose. Every motorcycle on display looked ready for the road, not just the camera. The new CB 1000 GT stood out as the perfect example of that philosophy. A true long-distance machine engineered for riders who actually ride with adjustable ergonomics, refined electronics, and chassis geometry tuned for all-day comfort. It struck that rare harmony between touring ease and cornering confidence. Power delivery felt measured yet muscular, a companion built for real miles, not marketing promises. Then came the WN7 electric prototype, Honda's clearest declaration that the future isn't theoretical anymore. Its proportions, stance, and practicality hinted at genuine production intent, offering electrification without abandoning the brand's no-nonsense DNA. Even the refreshed Africa Twin reflected this steady evolution: smarter electronics, improved suspension feedback, and that familiar durability riders trust when the asphalt in Honda's win wasn't loud, it was disciplined. Quiet mastery that reminded everyone progress doesn't always roar. Sometimes it simply moves forward with unwavering confidence. But even Honda's perfection had its blind spot. Yes, Honda's precision impressed, but progress always has its price. They made the leap, but not the landing. For all the polish and forward vision, one detail left the crowd questioning whether Honda's electric promise is moving fast enough. Because even when reliability is your brand, momentum matters, and that's where the world's most dependable name met its limit. Many expected Honda's WN7 electric prototype to mark a turning point, the moment when the world's most dependable brand would also become its most daring. The design looked ready for production, sleek and practical, yet beneath the surface lingered a familiar hesitation. Progress was there, but it moved at a measured pace range, and charging performance still trailed behind the boldest European and Asian competitors. It wasn't about failure, it was about restraint. Honda delivered evolution when the market was craving revolution. The CB 1000 GT embodied the same mindset, immensely capable, endlessly practical, but missing that emotional spark that transforms respect into passion. Caution has long been Honda's safety net, but in a world racing toward electrification, playing it safe risks falling behind. Riders can feel the brand's brilliance waiting to break free. It's just not unleashed yet. Still, if any manufacturer knows how to turn steady progress into dominance, it's Honda. History proves that when Honda finally commits, the whole industry adjusts its pace. And as we wrap up Honda's chapter, the EICMA story is only just heating up. Because waiting in that charged atmosphere, where logic meets pure emotion, another legend was already turning up the volume, ready to trade quiet confidence for pure, unfiltered attitude. Yamaha didn't just arrive with bikes, they arrived with electricity in the air, the kind that makes every rider lean forward and whisper, "What's coming next?" Yamaha didn't unveil a motorcycle, it unveiled a future. Beneath the electric glare of Milan's lights, the Yi01 racing concept drew every gaze like a magnet. Sleek, aggressive, and coiled with purpose, it looked less like a prototype and more like motion captured mid-stride. Here was Yamaha reimagining speed itself, not as noise but as energy. The YE01 is an all-electric motocross concept that felt as if someone had bottled lightning. Instant torque, feather-light handling, and a chassis that begged to launch from every corner. It wasn't just about replacing gasoline, it was about redefining the rush. This was competition electrified, proof that the thrill of racing doesn't have to fade in silence. Alongside that statement of intent stood the latest YZF-R1, sharper aerodynamics, refined electronics, and suspension tuning so precise it bordered on telepathic. Evolution through obsession, not excess. While many brands played it safe this year, Yamaha's space pulsed with energy. You could feel it, that sense of forward momentum, the hum of what's next. The company didn't just join the electric conversation, it grabbed the microphone. But all that energy comes with a caveat. Vision without delivery still leaves questions on the table. Yamaha wowed the crowd, but not everything is ready for your garage yet. The YE01 promised an electric revolution, but beneath the spotlight, a few real-world limits began to flicker through the excitement. The YE01 racing concept set imaginations on fire, a glimpse of what motocross could become when torque meets silence. But when the spotlight dimmed, the question lingered: how close is this dream to the dirt? For all its brilliance, the concept remains just that, a prototype without a roadmap to production. Charging infrastructure for off-road electric bikes is still limited, especially in the remote places riders love. Most range figures are unconfirmed, and real-world durability remains untested. Yamaha painted a thrilling picture, but the frame around it is still empty. Riders who crave that instant electric surge will have to wait before it hits their local tracks. It's not failure, it's a reminder of how far the electric frontier still has to go. Yamaha's vision is vivid, but reality needs time to catch up. The Y01 proved imagination isn't dead, it just hasn't found a plug-in yet. Still, even paused progress matters. Every prototype shifts expectations, sparks competition, and redraws the future's outline. Yamaha may not have delivered the revolution today, but it's already shaping tomorrow's starting line. And as the electric dust settled, another brand rolled in with Italian flair and unmistakable thunder. And now it's time to see how Italy's red powerhouse turned design, performance, and passion into the year's most refined statement. Ducati entered EICMA 2025 like a symphony played in red. Every rev a note, every curve a crescendo. Under the lights, the Panigale V4 SP2 and the Street Fighter V4 stood as living sculptures, each line carved with purpose, each surface reflecting both passion and precision. No gimmicks, no guesswork, just pure Italian performance elevated to art. The Panigale's redesigned aerodynamics sliced through the air like a blade drawn in motion. Its electronic suspension, traction, and braking systems didn't just manage the power, they orchestrated it, turning brutal speed into effortless control. The Street Fighter carried the same DNA but stripped away everything unnecessary, leaving a raw expression of confidence and command. Together, they captured Ducati's essence, intensity without chaos, design married to discipline. Twist the throttle and you don't just feel acceleration, you feel emotion, translated into motion. In a hall crowded with prototypes and promises, Ducati reminded everyone that the thrill of riding doesn't belong to the future, it's alive right now. But even perfection has its pressure points, and beneath all that polished carbon and power, one decision left riders raising their eyebrows. For decades, Ducati has stood as the emblem of speed, elegance, and emotion, a brand that builds dreams out of aluminum and adrenaline. Yet that dream doesn't come cheap. The Panigale V4 P2 and the Street Fighter V4 may ignite every rider's pulse, but their price tags and maintenance demands keep many enthusiasts watching from the stands. Rather than riding the track, owning a Ducati isn't just about passion, it's a pact. These are not everyday commuters or weekend cruisers. They're precision-crafted instruments that require attention, investment, and the willingness to live with a little impracticality in exchange for art on two wheels, oil changes, valve checks, tire wear. Everything costs more because everything is built to operate at the edge. Still, Ducati never set out to be accessible. It promised emotion, and emotion often comes with a price. That's the duality of Italian performance. Breathtaking, but rarely effortless. For riders who can meet that commitment, the payoff is pure magic. But while Ducati's story this year was passion wrapped in exclusivity, another brand took a different route. It's time to trade redline perfection for blue and white versatility, as BMW redefines what everyday excellence looks like. BMW brought balance to the floor of EICMA 2025, proving that adventure doesn't have to be intimidating. The latest GS Adventure embodied refinement without losing its rugged heart. Lighter, more agile. yet still undeniably BMW. It's the kind of machine that invites you to go further, not just dream about it. Shedding excess weight without sacrificing character, the new GS feels planted and predictable, whether carving mountain passes or gliding down gravel trails. The ergonomics fit like a tailored jacket, natural, relaxed, ready for hours in the saddle. Advanced electronics, from adaptive traction control to intuitive ride modes, deliver confidence without complexity. It's adventure reimagined for every rider, approachable yet authentic. Even the R18 lineup received thoughtful updates, blending vintage charisma with modern muscle chrome, gleam beneath the lights, and that signature boxer engine thumped with timeless rhythm. Proof that heritage still has horsepower, but it was the smaller GS that truly stole attention. Nimble, balanced, and eager, it invited riders to chase their next horizon without fear or fatigue. BMW didn't just refine adventure, it made it accessible, approachable, and real. Still, every evolution carries a trade-off, and not every rider embraced this lighter touch with open arms. Some riders missed the commanding presence and range authority of the full-size legend. Accessibility met expectation trade-offs, sparking quiet debate among loyalists. Because when a bike becomes easier to handle, the question lingers, does it still feel truly unstoppable? By trimming the weight and softening the stance, BMW made the new GS Adventure more welcoming than ever, a true invitation to explore. It's lighter, more manageable, and far easier to maneuver in city traffic or on weekend getaways. Yet in making adventure accessible, BMW also walked a fine line between evolution and dilution. Veteran riders, long accustomed to the commanding bulk and unstoppable stability of the full-size GS, noticed a subtle shift. That towering confidence, the sense of being ready for anything, felt slightly subdued. The lighter frame and gentler suspension tuning made it more nimble. Yes, but at the cost of that signature authority over long distances and rough terrain. Still, this isn't a misstep so much as a recalibration. BMW chose inclusivity over intimidation, broadening the GS legacy to welcome more riders into the fold. For most, it remains an exceptional balance of comfort, technology, and adventure capability. But for purists, the legend's indomitable feel has been trimmed along with its weight. The question now isn't whether BMW can build perfection, it's whether perfection should be for everyone. And as the debate rolled on, while BMW showed us adventure with luxury, the story didn't end there because not every rider chases mountain passes or distant horizons. Some just want the pure joy of the ride itself. Suzuki quietly set the stage for a comeback few saw coming, a brand that's never needed flash to prove its worth. Practical, playful, and always dependable, they reminded everyone that consistency can still steal the spotlight. Suzuki showed that excitement doesn't always need fireworks. At EICMA 2025, the brand skipped the spectacle and focused on what real riders value most: trust, comfort, and unfiltered fun. The V-Strom 1050 XT stood proudly as the embodiment of that philosophy, an adventure tourer that delivers where it counts, from twisting back roads to cross-country miles. Its refined ergonomics, predictable throttle response, and balanced chassis made every ride feel effortless, a companion built for journeys, not just headlines. The GSX R1000 also returned with quiet confidence. Suzuki didn't rewrite it, it refined it. Subtle tweaks to aerodynamics, electronics, and suspension tuning sharpened the bike without softening its spirit. It's still thrilling, still unapologetically Suzuki, but now just a bit more forgiving for everyday riders chasing that racetrack feeling on real roads. Across the lineup, Suzuki's story was one of reliability turned into rhythm. Maintenance stayed simple, power delivery stayed linear, and comfort remained authentic. In a year where rivals chased extremes, Suzuki doubled down on balance, the joy of a machine that simply works, ride after ride. It was evolution, not revolution, but evolution done right can still win hearts. Still, even the smoothest rides reveal their limits when the pace of innovation accelerates. Suzuki walked into EICMA 2025 carrying quiet confidence, years of steady reliability behind them, and fans eager for a breakthrough. Many expected fireworks, sleeker silhouettes, next-generation electronics, maybe even a daring redesign that would remind the industry just how sharp Suzuki can be. But instead of bold transformation, what they delivered was refinement, subtle tweaks, familiar comfort. For riders who value proven machinery, that restraint felt like wisdom, but for those chasing the thrill of something new, it landed like a missed beat. While rivals flashed adaptive displays and AI-tuned suspension, Suzuki doubled down on its old formula, dependable engines, honest ergonomics, and that unshakable mechanical smoothness that's kept them trusted for decades. It wasn't a stumble, but a statement. Suzuki would rather build what lasts than chase every passing trend. Yet in a year when innovation stole the spotlight, that steady hand risked fading into the background. Still, there's a question hanging in the air. If Suzuki chooses not to sprint with the others, will its quiet consistency become its greatest strength or the reason riders start looking elsewhere? But where Suzuki kept things steady, the next brand charged in with pure attitude. If Suzuki embodied balance, KTM exploded with adrenaline, turning excitement into a rideable reality. KTM didn't just show up at EICMA 2025, it erupted. Their booth felt like a live wire running through the halls of Milan, radiating that signature orange energy that never plays it safe. At the center stood the 1290 Super Duke R, a street fighter with the soul of a brawler. Its V-twin growl echoed like defiance, every throttle blip daring you to test your nerve. This wasn't a bike built for moderation. It was a declaration that raw power still has a place in a world chasing refinement beside it. The 890 Adventure R brought the dirt to the spotlight. Light on its feet, yet muscular where it counts. Built for riders who see a horizon and wonder what's beyond it. It combined agility with the kind of stability that makes long days off-road feel effortless. Every input translated into trust, every slide into control. KTM's lineup didn't whisper performance, it shouted it. Every model pulsed with intent, designed for riders who crave that electric moment where machine and instinct become one. But when you build bikes with this much attitude, thrill meets reality. All that power and aggression comes with its own challenges, from price tags that bite to performance that demands precision. Raw power demands respect, and sometimes extreme comes at a cost. Because with KTM, the same fire that fuels excitement can also burn. The unprepared KTM builds motorcycles that make your pulse race faster than your thoughts. Every twist of the throttle feels like catching lightning, immediate, wild, and addictive. But that same ferocity comes with a price. For riders chasing comfort or everyday ease, KTM's intensity can border on overwhelming. The precision that makes the 1290 Super Duke R or 890 Adventure R so thrilling on open roads can feel sharp-edged in stop-and-go traffic. These aren't bikes you simply ride. They demand attention, skill, and a touch of madness. Then comes the practical toll. KTM's high-performance pedigree doesn't run cheap premium parts, meticulous maintenance, and the brand's relentless pursuit of performance all translate into ownership that rewards devotion, not convenience for the dedicated. It's worth every penny. For casual riders, it's a reminder that passion often asks for sacrifice. Yet that's what sets KTM apart. It refuses to dilute emotion in pursuit of comfort. These machines aren't made for everyone. They're built for those who'd rather feel too much than too little. In the end, KTM proves that true excitement isn't effortless, and that's exactly what makes it unforgettable. And with KTM, we wrap up the motorcycle chapter of EICMA 2025, a showcase packed with innovation, power, and personality. But now it's your turn. Which brand impressed you the most? Was it Triumph's heritage, Honda's balance, Yamaha's energy, Ducati's precision, BMW's adventure, Suzuki's reliability, or KTM's raw adrenaline? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because the conversation doesn't stop here. We're just shifting gears into the next part of the story. The accessories that can truly transform every ride beyond the bikes. The right gear can transform every ride. From helmets to luggage, EICMA 2025 revealed what really matters when rubber meets road. The tools that make riding safer, smarter, and more comfortable. Some innovations will redefine the way we ride. Others might just leave you scratching your helmet. Let's dive into the accessories that riders will love and the ones that miss the mark. Not every breakthrough roars on two wheels. Some slip quietly into the ride as gear. At EICMA 2025, the spotlight wasn't just on horsepower, but on the smarter tools that elevate every journey. The message was clear. Accessories aren't extras anymore. They're integral to the modern motorcycling experience. Smart helmets took center stage, finally delivering on years of hype with crisp heads-up displays, extended battery life, and seamless integration for navigation, calls, and rear-view monitoring. They offered awareness without overload. It's technology that enhances focus instead of fracturing it, a digital co-pilot for real-world riders. Next came luggage systems that blended utility with sophistication. Aerodynamic panniers and effortless quick-release mounts proved that convenience and aesthetics can coexist. But perhaps the most transformative innovations were invisible. Predictive safety systems, smarter ABS, adaptive headlights, and traction control that learns your riding style turned every mile into a more confident, intuitive experience. In a show dominated by speed, these innovations reminded everyone that the future of motorcycling isn't just faster, it's safer, smarter, and infinitely more connected. But while some accessories excelled, not every innovation sticks. A few gadgets overpromised and underdelivered, proof that even the best ideas can miss the mark. Let's take a look at where imagination ran wild, but practicality stayed parked. Even in a showcase bursting with brilliance, not every spark became a flame. EICMA 2025 reminded us that innovation is a gamble, one where bold ideas can either redefine the ride or crash before takeoff. Among the highlights and breakthroughs, a few accessories served as cautionary tales that practicality always outlasts hype. The first offenders were the gimmicks, dressed as genius flashy, smart add-ons, promised safer, smarter rides but offered little more than flickering LEDs and inflated price tags. Some handlebar-mounted displays simply mimicked what every smartphone already does, cluttering the cockpit instead of cleaning it up. Riders could see through the marketing fog immediately. Too expensive, too redundant, too unnecessary. Then came the fragile wonders, gear that dazzled in the showroom but wilted in the wild. Sleek designs often hid weak construction, unable to withstand rain, vibration, or a good dose of gravel road reality. It was form over function taken to its breaking point. Even comfort tech, usually a safe bet, stumbled. Heated jackets that drained power faster than they delivered warmth. Luggage setups that ruined body ergonomics. Small miscalculations that turned convenience into frustration. The common thread: innovation without endurance, but failure has its place. Each misstep points engineers closer to what truly matters: reliability, simplicity, and trust. For every fragile gadget that cracked under pressure, there's a stronger idea waiting to replace it. EICMA 2025 proved that creativity is thriving, even when it occasionally loses balance. Because in this industry, progress isn't about never falling, it's about getting back up, learning fast, and building the kind of gear that can handle both the dream and the downpour. And with motorcycles and gear explored, it's time to step into the future where practicality ends, imagination begins. From helmets and panniers to bikes that challenge reality, EICMA 2025's concept machines stole the spotlight. Let's explore the wild visions that wowed and the bold innovations that might just change everything. Some motorcycles at EICMA 2025 didn't arrive to justify budgets or prove practicality. They came simply to steal the show. These were the dream machines, sketched in midnight notebooks and brought to life through sheer imagination art on two wheels, crafted not for commuters, but for believers. They may never touch the open road, yet they rekindle the reason we fell for motorcycles in the first place. Take the CF Moto V4 SRRR prototype, a razor-edged sculpture dressed in carbon fiber, its active wings twitching like a hawk ready to strike across the floor. Concept electrics shimmered like holograms. Floating frames, translucent fairings, wheels that looked carved from crystal. Each whispered the same truth. The future doesn't have to trade excitement for efficiency. Yamaha's whimsical urban concept joined the fun, a pint-sized electric cafe racer painted in metallic teal, bridging nostalgia and tomorrow nearby. Boutique builders broke every rule imaginable, a suspension-free marvel, a hubless roller with glowing light rings instead of rims. The wild concepts were pure adrenaline, neon frames, floating seats, and designs that looked ripped from a sci-fi movie. But not every concept was built just to wow the crowd. Some hinted at a real shift, technology and design choices that could redefine what motorcycles become in the next decade. So let's shift from the wild and weird to the ones that could truly change the industry. While some concepts at EICMA 2025 were pure spectacle, others felt like the first drafts of the future. These weren't fantasy sketches or showroom showpieces. They were blueprints for what motorcycling could become when imagination meets real-world engineering. Honda set the tone with its WN7 electric prototype, an EV that traded hype for genuine progress. With extended range, true fast charging through a compact CCS2 system, and a familiar riding stance, it looked ready for the morning commute rather than a science fiction movie. Nearby, a European startup stole attention with a hybrid sport tour that blended electric torque and a featherlight parallel twin, proving that sustainability and performance no longer have to live on opposite ends of the spectrum. Aerodynamic innovation also drew serious buzz concepts from CF Moto, and Ducati featured adaptive aero panels that shift with speed, carving the air for better stability. Add in modular frames that transform from city commuter to weekend adventurer in minutes, and flexibility suddenly feels like freedom reborn. These machines aren't distant dreams, they're the groundwork for what's next. They remind every rider that evolution isn't about leaving the past behind, it's about carrying its spirit into tomorrow's ride. From motorcycles to gear to the most visionary concepts, EICMA 2025 delivered the full spectrum of riding inspiration. We've seen the wins, the wild cards, and the ideas that might rewrite tomorrow's roads. Now it's time to distill the highlights, winners, and lessons side by side and uncover what every rider should truly remember from this year's show. Every EICMA has its heroes, but 2025's true champions weren't just about speed or spectacle. They redefined what progress feels like. This year's winners proved that innovation can thrill the senses while still serving the rider. Triumph once again found magic in balance. The revitalized Bonneville family captured nostalgia without being stuck in it. Classic silhouettes meeting refined engineering. Its torque-reach feel and effortless grace reminded everyone that heritage, when tuned right, still has plenty of horsepower left in its soul. Honda followed with quiet confidence. The WN7 electric prototype made electrification practical, approachable, fast charging, and built for daily life. No drama, just genuine usability. Ducati, on the other hand, ignited pure emotion. The next generation desserts prototype carried that unmistakable Italian attitude. Blending adventure toughness with artistic design, BMW's F450 GS earned applause for its accessibility, a compact dual sport that felt both light and legitimate. Bringing adventure to riders of all sizes and beyond the bikes, Cardo and Senna led the accessory charge, making smart connectivity feel effortless and essential. Finally, CF Moto's V4 SRRR stole the spotlight, a rolling sculpture that made everyone dream again. EICMA 2025 didn't just showcase machines, it celebrated evolution in motion. But no story is complete without learning from the missteps along the way. Every innovation comes with a risk, and every bold idea has its blind spots. Let's take a closer look at where things stumbled and the lessons real riders can take home. Even the strongest brands left Milan with lessons etched between the spotlights. Quiet reminders that growth never stops. Even at the top, Triumph delivered polish and poise, but its steady hand may have been too steady. The updates felt respectful of heritage, yet a bit hesitant to break new ground. It was a gentle nudge that even icons must dare to surprise. Honda earned praise for pushing electrification forward, but its promising WN7 prototype also revealed the limits of current range and infrastructure. The potential is there, the world just needs to catch up to it. Ducati's passion burned bright as always, though its climb toward exclusivity risked putting its soul out of reach for everyday riders. The next challenge lies in keeping the fire accessible. KTM's machines roared with adrenaline, but their complexity bordered on overwhelming. There's a thin line between thrilling and tiring, and sometimes simplicity wins the race. And Suzuki's reliability once again stood tall. Yet restraint can only go so far. Riders are ready for Suzuki's next bold leap, not just its steady rhythm. These aren't failures, they're foundations. Honest lessons from EICMA 2025, shaping the next evolution of the ride ahead.